Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and welcome to number 15 of our Goal Line Hockey Live. How's it going today? What's going on, PJ? What's going on, Morgan? And as we get right in, we're taking a look at the Bruins Sabers game, and it is 4-0 Boston. Tough start for the Sabers, to say the least. They gave up 3 goals in the first 8 minutes of the game, and things continue to be bad for them here in the second period. Tyler Bertuzzi getting on the board for the Bruins. What's up, PJ? What's up, Morgan? How's it going, guys? Oh, that's a tough break. So, of course, our featured game today is between the Washington Capitals and the Minnesota Wild. Expecting a really good one down there in the state of hockey. Meanwhile, we are still waiting to see what happens. Yeah, I want to see what happens here for this Sabres game. A goal may be coming back. So let's see what happens. So is it a goal or not? How's it going, guys? What's up, Morgan? 1-0 Minnesota over the Capitals. Matt Boldy with a goal. Man, that's a pretty good start. So we'll get to that game in a second. And of course, thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you, Morgan. Great to hear. Yeah, I actually didn't get the connection thing yet. It's coming in today. So hopefully that gets fixed. How was that Twisted Tea yesterday? Oh, man, that stream could have got really interesting. I was a little bit tipsy when we got off. Wow, there you go. No goal. All right, so let's get to our featured game. So a good start for the Minnesota Wild, up 1-0 already. A goal from Matt Boldy. What is up with our games not being available? Man. All right. Kev, did you get the extender? I bought the extender, PJ. It's Amazon shipping, though, which means it's coming in today. I bought it last night when we concluded with that stream. So it is not. I got no goal in the first 10 minutes. Oh, so maybe it is no goal. We'll take a look in a second. Welcome to the chat, Jackie Moon. Yeah, so I did buy the extender, PJ. It just didn't come in yet. It'll be here. Of course, it's saying by 10 o'clock tonight. So probably when this stream is over. For the next live stream, we will have the extender set up. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Let's see. What do we got? I'm sure Urban will join the chat at some point, our Minnesota Wild fan in here. Also, Toe, our Capitals fan. So hopefully those guys show up. All right, PJ. We'll see you in a second. Oh, he's at the gym grinding it out. Yo, shout out to PJ. Big supporter of the channel. Love my guy, PJ. What else do you guys want to talk about? I mean, the Buffalo Sabres, really the only news out of Buffalo. The other day, they signed Devin Levi, a 7th-round pick by the Florida Panthers, a guy they got in a trade a couple years back. I'm trying to remember who was in that deal. I want to say it was Brandon Montour or somebody like that. So they've got Devin Levi, and now it's going to be UPL, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and and Devin Levi as your goalies. So I think this is a great thing for the Sabres, building some internal competition, right? What's that saying? It's iron sharpens iron. And I think for the Sabres goaltending moving forward, let's be honest, they really haven't had a great goaltender since Ryan Miller left. And I think that with one of these two guys, hopefully they end up getting that goalie that's really going to solidify this team and hopefully take them on a long playoff run at some point in the next few years. So when I kind of look at the situation around the whole goalie tandem, I think Anderson is obviously a placeholder. Same thing for Eric Comrie at this point. But for everybody else, I think it's really exciting looking at what the Buffalo Sabres have in the pipeline. And, they lost Eric Porteo, I think was his name. They traded him to the LA Kings. He didn't want to sign there. So no harm, no foul. They were able to get something for him. So we'll see what happens with that. The Minnesota Wild, not really Minnesota Wild news, but the other day, the Anaheim Ducks signed former Minnesota Wild prospect Nikita Nesterenko. Nesterenko went to the Ducks as a part of the deal in the John Klingberg trade. So we'll see how Nesterenko turns out in Anaheim, and if that turns out to actually be a good trade for the Ducks at some point. We'll see. Morgan says, I'm eating some PF Chang's. We have a drive-through for PF Chang's. Oh, that's pretty cool. Usually they have PF Chang's in malls around here on Long Island. It's like Cheesecake Factory, which I'm having later. Only in malls. I don't know if that's like a rule, but they have to be in a mall. The only two PF Chang's I know are in malls here on Long Island. So that's pretty cool, though. We also don't have Jack in the Box, which is kind of annoying. I went to Hawaii and there was a Jack in the Box. And I know they're in the States, just not here on the East Coast. We don't have any Jack in the Box. I don't know if Morgan has any of those. So I'm trying to get to this game. Michael Russo said there was a goal by Boldy, but maybe they took it back. I'm not really sure what happened. And I can't really see it because we're not able to see the game, which is frustrating. Wow, it's already 2-0 Minnesota. So Boldy with his 20th and 21st of the season. Man, Matt Boldy got off the bus early today. And wow, a really good start here for the Wild in the first 5 minutes. Wish I could have seen it, but I guess that's part of the course today. We'll get through it. I'll find a stream with this game. Hopefully I find a game with the stream. Oh, the PGA Tour is going on. Okay. So what else do you guys want to discuss today? Like I said, so far in Buffalo, it's a 3-0 lead for the Bruins. All those goals were in the first 10 minutes of the first period. But since then, though, a lot more, I guess, more positive since then. The Sabres have shut it down. They've actually played a lot better since those first 10 minutes, but they're still down 3-0. So we'll see how things play out the rest of the way. Last night, a dominant win for the New York Rangers as they welcome the Penguins into Madison Square Garden. A 6-0 win for the Broadway Blue Shirts. That was a huge game for the Rangers. And, welcome to the chat, Ali Desh. What's going on, man? But like I was saying, no, the Rangers, they look pretty good. We have a couple of big games this afternoon. 4 o'clock, Columbus and Vegas out in Nevada. At 7 o'clock Eastern, we have Winnipeg and St. Louis out in Missouri. The Rangers host the Predators. That's a big game for the Predators as they try to keep their playoff hopes alive. And at 7 o'clock again, the third matchup this week. That's right, the third matchup this week between the New Jersey Devils and the Tampa Bay Lightning in Newark. So that's going to be a big game. And of course, we close out the night. The only late game is an 8 o'clock game. The Vancouver Canucks go into the Honda Center to take on the Anaheim Ducks. And that's it for tonight's schedule. We have a couple of matinees, a couple of earlier games, but for the most part, it's all afternoon games today. And like I said, guys, anything you want to mention in the chat, start a conversation. I'm down for it. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. If you want to leave a super chat to support the channel, do that as well. Also, check out in the description down below is our Streamlabs shop. You can buy goal line hockey hats, t-shirts, tank tops, all that stuff. You want to help support the channel, multiple ways you could do that. And if you can, the least you could do, make sure to like the video, guys. I appreciate that as well. Ali Dash says, I'm feeling very fatherly right now. Uh-oh. What does that mean, Ali Dash? You're freaking me out. Yeah, we're having problems getting the stream in today. Hopefully it gets fixed. A couple of other games last night. Oh no, Buffalo scored again. Boston, Hampus Lindholm, his 10th of the season, and it's 4-0 Boston. Oh man, tough start here for the Sabers. Yeah, this. Oh man, this looks like in Buffalo. It's either rated by Bruins fans or Leaf fans. Today, there's a lot of black and gold in Buffalo. Oh my God. Wow. That is tough. This is a Sabres home game. There is so many Bruins fans. Oh my God. Wow. That all in the hundreds, mind you. It is, if you guys can look at the Sabres feed or probably the Bruins feed too, it is mind you, a Sabres home game. There is all black and gold pinwheel jerseys. Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe that. Morgan said that's like us Knights fans in San Jose, a home away from home. Yeah, it does happen. And I got to be honest, at the Islander game I went to, there was some Islander fans. There was a lot of Islander fans, but there was a couple sections. There were a lot of Bruins fans. Not to this level, but that's a statement. Man. And now the Bruins go to the power play. Yeah, the Sabres aren't catching a break today. They're gonna get the doors blown off of them. Oof. Oh, come on. That's a tough call. I don't agree with that call. He had the puck. Ali Dash says, Kev, who's your favorite player on the Wild? Obviously, I like Kaprizov, but I think that's too easy. I'm going to go with Joel Eriksson Ek. He's got a great name, and he's a good player. I really like Joel Eriksson Ek out in Mini. I also like Boldy, but Joel Eriksson Ek is my guy. Yes, and Marc-Andre Fleury, that's a really good candidate too. I should have done the Bruins game. Maybe not. They're getting blown out. Ali Dash says Kevin goes off the board with Eckmaster. I like it. Bennington has been making a mockery of the sport all season. Yeah, so we could talk about that a little bit. The whole thing with Bennington, like this is okay for this season. It's tolerable. The Blues are missing the playoffs this year. Oh, no harm, no foul. They have a real problem there with goaltending in St. Louis, and if they don't get another good goalie behind or with him next season, that could end up being a real issue for the Blues. I think they're going to have a really good team there, but I'm not sold on the goaltending with Binnington. Anytime he throws a temper tantrum all the time, he punched with his blocker into Jason Zucker earlier this year. He bumped Ilya Sorokin in between periods. He gave him a chest bump. And not in a good way, kind of brushed past him with his shoulder. There's been a lot of stuff. In the beginning, I could be okay with it because, all right, he's passionate, whatever. Now it's to the point where it's just like he's like a little kid throwing a temper tantrum. You can't do that. And it's always when he's losing and he kind of loses his temper. And that just doesn't seem very controlled, which I'm not a fan of that. Ray Emery rip. Yeah, I remember Ray Emery. Oh, he beat up Braden Holtby. I remember that a couple of years back. Yeah. That's when Braden Holtby had that long hair that I remember I'd always go to Islanders Capitals games and he would always be putting the water, the Gatorade water into his hair. He looked like such a California, Southern California kid that should be surfing. He didn't look like he should be suiting up and playing goalie for the Capitals, but I digress. I have long hair too, so I guess I can't go too far on him. But I remember Ray Emery, especially when he pummeled Holtby. If I was the Blues, I would cut or send Binnington down to the AHL. The only problem with that is Morgan. He's got a $6 million contract for the next 3 or 4 years, so that one's going to be tough to move. Irish, welcome to the chat, Irish. Glad you're joining us this afternoon. Yeah, I actually can't watch the game, Irish. I'm having problems getting the stream. We keep having these issues with the live streams from my games, right? I'm able to get the Sabers Bruins game, no problem. My featured games that I'm trying to promote to you guys, I can't get those games. It's like they know, oh, Kevin's live streaming this game. Yeah, don't put this one on the internet. Jeez, bad luck. It is what it is, I guess, right? At least we could watch for now until I figure it out. We could watch the Bruins game. Oh, I got it, guys. I got it. All right, we got the game, boys. Here we go. Much better. Get NHL center ice. Nah, I ain't paying for it. No NHL center ice here. I just have to do a little bit of work to find the games, but I always end up finding them. So it is what it is. It took me a little bit longer, but I think it was worth it. So a really good start for Minnesota. They are already up 2-0. And Washington kind of needs this game today. They're trying to stay in the playoff chase. The Islanders won last night. Pittsburgh lost, which is good, but the Capitals are not in a position that they can really afford to lose. And speaking of the Capitals, guys, in 2 weeks, not next week, but 2 weeks, the Islanders are going down to Washington. I'll be taking a day trip down to D.C. to watch the Islanders in Washington. That's going to be a huge game at Capital One Arena. It's my first road trip of the season. I've only been to the Garden and I almost said the Coliseum and UBS Arena. So I'm going outside the New York area for a game this year. And I haven't been to Washington since I want to say 2016. John Tavares was still there, Kyle Oposo. So it's going to be interesting to go back down there. It was the Verizon Center, so I'm definitely excited to go down there once again. But like I said, tonight, though, the Caps not looking so good. Only 3 shots on net. Minnesota was 7, and they have 2 goals and almost made it 3-0. Yeah, the Capitals just look out of it. I don't know what's up with them. They have been playing a lot of games recently, and I assume that's a part of it, but they do not look great here today. Morgan says, what do y'all think about the Reimer situation? That's a really good point, Morgan. And I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm one of those people that just, I'm okay with this stuff. Like, I get it one way or the other. I get the people that want them to wear it, but I get the guys that don't want to wear it. If they don't want to wear it, they don't have to wear it. I don't think there's anything really we don't need to ask them why. Like, if they don't want to, they don't have to, right? I don't get it. I think it's a bigger deal than it really needs to be, you know? I'm okay with the decision in my opinion. The fact he's willing to, like even Ivan Provorov, right? He took so much flack, knowing how much flack he was going to take for it makes it that much more admirable that he decided not to, right? He went against the grain. I appreciate that. Morgan said, as a Christian myself, I'm like, if I have to, I get it, but if it was me, I would do it because I have friends who are. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, like you shouldn't be, again, I hate to use the word judged, but there shouldn't be controversy whether you wear it or you don't. I think that's kind of the point that we should get to it at some point. But the problem is there's too much bigotry on both sides. Oh, you know, you're you're not straight, hater. If I'm trying to think of the way to say this without getting the stream cut, there shouldn't be any slurs one way or the other, right? I think that's kind of simple to understand. I don't care what you do, just worry about yourself, right? That's kind of how I look at it, but that's my take on it. Uh Ali Desh, I'm a practicing Shia Muslim, and I agree with what Morgan said. Yeah, you shouldn't be forced to wear something or not wear something, right? I don't get it. Not that big of a deal, but a great question though, Morgan. Will Boston get eliminated because of the President's Trophy curse? I don't think so, Morgan. And the reason I say that is if this was like you got to remember the context, right? When that happened in Tampa Bay when they lost to the Blue Jackets, remember the context of that time for the Lightning, right? That was a young Kucherov, a younger Stamkos. Braden Point was still coming onto the scene. It was a different team back then. This Bruins team has so much veteran leadership. Krejci, Marchand, Bergeron. They've won a cup back in 2011. They've been around the block. So this isn't anything new. This isn't some sort of they need to get experience in the playoffs. If it was a younger team and that was kind of the philosophy, I think I could see it more. But in this specific case, I think that the Bruins are exempt from that. I saw Ryan Whitney of Spit and Chicklets the other day. He was saying he thinks the Bruins are going to sweep whoever they play in the first round. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think that the Bruins, to say that they're going to just get, if they lose in the first round, it's not going to be because of the President's Trophy curse. I really don't believe in that. I think it's more the timing and staying healthy. That's kind of how I look at it. Bruins going to go 16-0 this playoffs. Yeah, exactly. Right? It's not feasible. Nobody's ever done that. And I think that when you look at the situation around the Bruins, the Bruins fans are hyped right now. I mean, the way they filled up Buffalo today is very impressive. They've been doing that a lot this season, but they are a very passionate, original six, proud franchise, right? They don't take this stuff lightly. Like they like to win there. They're a winning city, right? I mean, the Patriots' success for a while. The Red Sox, I believe, won a championship, right? So, for the Bruins, they're actually the loser in that city for the last little while. So I think this is great for them. Like I said, they're a rival to me because I'm from New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, Philly, There's that little sense of the Eastern rivalry, but other than that, I got to be honest. I am happy to see the Bruins playing well. Right? You really can't deny guys like Bergeron and Krejci, like I mean, those guys and McAvoy. Like they are just so good that you can only hold them down from Stanley Cups for so long. And I think the Bruins. It's quite impressive how bad they were for a couple of years with the Peter Chiarelli era, but since Don Sweeney's come back in there, this team has really kind of fixed their game, and they just look way better um, than they were. Oh, there's a bunch of Wegman ads. Tell me it's Buffalo without telling me it's Buffalo. Wegmans advertising. Yep. So Fleury in net for the Wild and Charlie Lindgren in net for the Capitals. The other day when I watched the Capitals against the Islanders, I didn't realize how big Charlie Lindgren is. He's a big dude. Ali Dash said, what's Wegmans? It's actually Wegmans with a G. Wegmans is like, I don't know if you have 7-Eleven up in Canada or anything like that, but it's kind of like a 7-Eleven. Like it's yes, Wegmans. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like a actually no, I think it's a supermarket. Think of 7-Eleven, but like a bigger supermarket. It's sort of like that. Yeah, think of that. It's similar to that. They have coffee, things like that. It's a combination of a small supermarket, 7-Eleven, and Tim Hortons, which you can probably relate to from Canada. So watching some of the games last night, do you guys want to talk about the games yesterday? We didn't end up missing much in terms of that Avalanche Red Wings game. It ended up being a 5-1 blowout for the Avalanche. Tough game for the Red Wings. Boston won 5-2 in Minneapolis and Minnesota. So this is the second of a back-to-back for them. Jets got a huge win over the Predators, but it took overtime. So that's not a 4-point game. They gave the Predators a point. So they're able to go up 3 more points on the Preds, but close game. The Oilers beat the Kraken 6-4. The Kraken are very much in danger of missing the playoffs the way they've been playing. Carolina beats the Flyers 5-4 in OT. The Flyers have looked much better recently. Florida beats the Devils 4-2. The Lightning beat the Canadiens 5-3. Toronto beats the Senators. I know Ali Desh doesn't want me to remind him. 5-4 win in a shootout for the Leafs. The Rangers a 6-0 win over the Penguins. The Canucks with a 3-2 shootout win over the LA Kings. Pretty big game there. The Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames 6-5 win for Dallas in overtime. And the Arizona Coyotes beat the Blackhawks 4-2 at Mullet Arena. So a couple of interesting games yesterday. A lot of high-scoring games. Is that a New York thing or what? Just in Buffalo? Yeah, it's a Western New York thing, Ali Desh. Yeah, but we don't have Wegmans here on Long Island. Maybe one, but none around me. 7-Eleven, though, it's a joke. Like, you know, they always say, like, there's a McDonald's at every corner. There's a 7-Eleven. I could go down 2 main roads on Long Island. Literally every other street corner, there is a 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is a huge deal here on Long Island. And specifically where I live, we actually have like 3 or 4 Taco Bells within like a 10-minute radius, which you know me, 4 Taco Bells in a 10-minute radius, any direction. I'm a huge fan of that. You guys already know that though. Good chance for the Capitals, but a great save by Fleury. Chance for Sherry just didn't work. I'm telling you, for the Capitals, this Oshie, oh, they almost scored. Whoa, what happened there? The Sonny Milano, TJ Oshie, Dylan Strome line, I think that's their third line. It's really good. I think the Capitals, if they're going to get a chance to make the playoffs here, they need that line to continue to score goals. They've actually played quite well. And if they could get a little bit more from their bottom 6 guys like Nick Dowd and Connor Sheary and some of those other guys, they definitely have a chance to make some noise here. Oh, Ali Jesh says that's like Tim Hortons in Ottawa. They're everywhere. So, guys, on your street corner, every other street corner, what do you have? Right? Ali Dash up in Ottawa has Tim Hortons. Here in New York on Long Island, we have a 7-Eleven on every corner. What do you guys have with where you're at? Let me know down below. Dutch Bros. What's that, Morgan? What's Dutch Bros? I know in Pennsylvania, a big thing they have in in Eastern Pennsylvania, they have a lot of Wawa, which is like a 7-Eleven, but it's a little bit better. They have like fresh food there and stuff, make really good smoothies and shakes. And then on the west side of PA, if there's any Penguins fans in here, Sheets is a big deal. And it's similar concept there. It's an amazing coffee place. And they have a lot of other drinks. Okay, Morgan, never heard of Dutch Bros. I'll have to look into that. Maybe the Sabres should be wearing that goat head jersey today. I think they kind of messed up not wearing that jersey today. They seem to play better in that jersey. And Dowling himself has said, we look evil when we wear that jersey. And they're not wearing it today. And I wonder, it's probably part of the reason they're losing. It's really not, but it's worth making the excuse, right? Ali Dash said decades ago, my dad drove from Yellowknife to Ottawa, and he said there were stretches of highway where you're looking for a gas station, can't find one, but there's Tim's in the middle of nowhere. There's Tim Hortons everywhere, right? Yeah, that's definitely a Canadian thing for sure. So Sabres power play here at the end of the second period. Nothing's really going well for them, but they're staying in there for now. So I think that's it for the second period. So Buffalo is going to go scoreless here in the first 40 minutes. Yeah, the Sabres have not played well defensively. It's been a real struggle for them. And if you guys can, make sure to like the video. It definitely helps us out a ton. And thank you for joining us on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's still 4-0 Boston, Ali Dash. Yep. Tough game. Tough game over in Buffalo. And it's like a Bruins home game. There are so many Bruins fans there. It's kind of sad, honestly. Okay, yes, you are watching Mini. Okay. Oh. Yep, that's not going to end well. Middlestat just got dumped. I don't know what happened. He kind of just that was a bad penalty. Casey Middlestat. He got dumped, man. I mean, just take the L and get back up. That's how I look at it. It happens. It's raining here in Nevada. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's actually very nice out today on Long Island. It's like 47 degrees, sunny skies. It's actually very nice out today. It feels like a spring day, which I considering it's 40 degrees with a little wind, but it is very nice out. It is sunny. But I cannot wait till those summer days. You guys can watch my videos from during the summer and now. How much more tan I get in the summer. It's kind of funny. Ali Dash and Morgan, how often do you ever get snow in that part of Nevada? Once every 10 years or every now and then? Ali Dash, Morgan gets snow like every other week. He's in northern Nevada. When everyone thinks of Vegas, they think of Nevada. It's like a desert. Not where Morgan is. It snows a lot. Great snowmobiling weather, like a lot of the year. But it also gets really hot in the summer. And I'm sure Morgan will kind of continue with what I'm saying here, but I'm pretty sure that's where he is, northern Nevada, like closer to Lake Tahoe. Yeah, he gets a decent amount of snow. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You go past the mountains, it's like totally different weather there in Nevada. It's pretty cool actually. I definitely want to go out there and visit for sure. So 105 in the opening period, 2-0 Wild, and they were 2 goals from Matt Boldy, a pair of goals in the first 5 minutes. And since then, it's actually been pretty quiet. No, Ali Dash, don't worry. No Lake Tahoe rant today. Nope. Don't you worry, Ali Dash. Outdoor rink, I think, is what he means, Ali Dash. His buddy's got an outdoor rink in the backyard, which that's pretty sick. Usher's draw race car. Yo, that's funny. Yeah, I don't think that's exactly what he meant. Minnesota's going to score. Oh, yeah. The Capitals look sleepy in this first period. All right. So, looking at some of the injuries around the league, I have a couple of updates for you guys if you want to stay tuned for that. Ethan Bear activated off the LTIR yesterday. Nick Bonino placed on long-term injured reserve yesterday, so not good news there. They also placed Ryan Poehling earlier this week. They brought him back. He's now activated from the LTIR. So a couple of Penguins coming in and out of the lineup. Kulikov and Bonino placed on LTIR this week. Ryan Poehling comes off. Pajot played the other night for the Islanders. Clutterbuck is officially back and healthy. Svechnikov is on LTIR. He is going to be out for a while. So not good news there. In terms of Ryan O'Reilly, on March 6th, he was placed on the LTIR, but we haven't heard much about O'Reilly since then, Ali Desh. But I assume that's not looking good. Like I said, Svechnikov on LTIR. We are not going to see him the rest of this season. Really tough blow for the Hurricanes. Alex Tuck activated the other day. Trevor Moore activated. So it kind of seems like it's been a back and forth with a couple of these guys. But yeah, we have not heard much about Ryan O'Reilly since March 6th, which is now 2 weeks ago. Recalls and reassignments. Dylan Ferguson called up for the Senators. So maybe we'll see Dylan Ferguson get a couple starts here down the stretch. Kevin Mandolisi goes back to the minors. Not a fan of that guy because he got his first NHL win against the Islanders. Zach Fucale called up from Hershey from the to the Washington Capitals. So maybe he comes up at some point on emergency loan. The Capitals place Alexei Protas on emergency loan. He's on the roster. Joseph Wall and Bobby McMahon come up to Toronto on emergency. Mark Friedman comes up to Pittsburgh on emergency. So a couple of these guys have been kind of coming up and down the lineup. And that's kind of your latest at this point. And like I said, the other bigger news, dropping in while at work to say what up. Have a good stream, bro. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. Shout out to my boy Ryan down there. During the Sens versus Leafs game, all they said about O'Reilly was, I wonder if he'll only be back for the playoffs. Ali Desh, at this point, I do think that is very feasible. Yeah, it doesn't look too good for him right now. And again, hopefully it's more of a precautionary thing than anything. Guys, thank you for the likes. Get those likes up. I think it's going to be kind of one of those things. They don't want to chance him getting hurt again. Like if he's like 80% healthy for the last 5 or 6 games, they might just say, listen, just keep him down. It's not worth it. Don't let him get injured. He knows how to play. Ideally, they'd probably like 1 or 2 games before the playoffs, so he's back in the motion. But again, that's the ideal situation. I just find it odd they have nothing to report, which Ali Desh, that could be a little bit of gamesmanship. Like they don't actually think he's healthy. Like I know for Penn State football, they're very, even Lou Lamoriello of the Islanders, they're very reserved on who is going to be available and who's not available on any given night. I think it's kind of the gamesmanship, right? They don't want the team to think they have an upper hand knowing who the starter is or what's going on here or there. So I guess that's kind of how they're looking at it. But again, I'm not really sure. Normally they'll say he's 2 to 4 weeks or whatever time frame. Yeah, normally they do that. Depends on the team. Again, Lou Lamoriello with the Islanders, and he never does that. Steve Yzerman of the Red Wings, they're pretty reserved. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Yeah, Pittsburgh, man. As much as now Kulikov and Bonino are on the LTIR, I don't think it matters that much for the Penguins. Their goaltending isn't good. And I think that they're getting exposed because of how bad their goaltending has been. Like, since Tristan Jarry has come back, quote unquote healthy, he has not been good. And unfortunately for the Pittsburgh Penguins, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's been a rough season for this goalie tandem. Jarry's on the final year of his deal. I don't see why the Penguins would re-sign him at this point. I would keep an eye on John Gibson to Pittsburgh this summer. They like Lucas Dostal there in Anaheim. I think they want Dostal to stay. John Gibson from Pittsburgh. The Penguins are going to need another starting goalie this summer. Got another year of DeSmith at $1.8 million. Call me crazy. I think it's a perfect fit. BU wins the championship. Okay. Shout out to BU and the Terriers up there in Boston. I assume he's talking about the men's hockey tournament. What's going on, Blues Freak? Welcome back to the chat. Yo, we got a super chat from PJ. Welcome back, PJ, with $7 Canadian. He says, Yo, Kev, I was wondering if you want to participate in the NHL Bracket Challenge. I was thinking me, you, and a couple of the Goal Line Hockey members. Absolutely, PJ. Yeah, you know what? I'll put that in my notes right now. I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, we could definitely do that. I'm definitely down for that, for sure. Thank you, PJ. Great. See, so he's giving me ideas and he's giving donations. That is why he's a moderator. Shout out to PJ, man. Ali Dash says winner gets his team's goal horn added to the PJ soundboard. Ooh, okay. I kind of like that. I got to figure out how to do that. If I could add all the teams like while a goal goes off, that would be sick. I would love to do that. I just got to figure out exactly how to do that. Morgan said, I'm winning. Sorry, boys. I'm usually terrible at those things, honestly. The NHL playoffs are very unpredictable. It seems like, Tampa's going to lose this year. Surely they're not going to get to the final again. And they got to the finals back to back years. So PJ got his bracket perfect in 2019. That's pretty good. And who won in 19? Was that the Blues? You picked the Blues to win the cup? Yeah, I've never had a perfect bracket. No way. Yeah, let's go Blues. Yeah. Yeah. PJ got you right there, Blues Freak. And Blues Freak, if you want, what are your thoughts on the whole Binnington situation? Because I think having a Blues fan perspective on this is something to watch. And if you go back, I talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, Blues Freak. But if I definitely want to know what your thoughts as a Blues fan on that situation, because it's definitely been interesting with Binner. Ali Desh said, years ago, I told people Devils versus Kings for the final when they were both like eighth seed. Can't believe I got that one right. That's a good one, too. Yeah. What was that? 2012, I want to say, was that Stanley Cup final? PJ said, hey, Morgan, did you watch the Flames Knights game? Yeah, that was a tough one. The Knights got stapled that night, and I think that's why PJ's bringing that up. Blues Freak, obviously, he should just play goalie and stop pucks, but I like the idea of having a goalie fight. Yeah, I think we all agree with that. I think we all agree with that sentiment. But I think it's to the point where it almost seems like it's a temper tantrum. It's not really it doesn't seem like he's trying to fire up the team or it's a tactical thing. It just seems like more of one of those just like I said, a temper tantrum. Like he just has no control. Yeah, PJ said Battle of Alberta goalie fight, Mike Smith and Cam Talbot. Yeah, that was very funny. And looking at the standings right now, so in the Metropolitan Division, you got Carolina, the Devils, the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Penguins. The Atlantic, you got Boston, Toronto, and Tampa. The Western Conference, you got Dallas, Colorado, Minnesota, and Winnipeg. And then in the Pacific for playoffs, you've got LA, Vegas, Edmonton, and holding on by a near thread all of a sudden is the Seattle Kraken. Yeah, that was a huge win for the Jets last night over the Predators. Yeah, you guys missed me yesterday. I was getting a little bit what's the word? I was a little tipsy yesterday. I had a twisted tea. Yeah, I don't drink much, so a twisted tea almost got me knotted up. So that was pretty funny. So make sure to go check out that first stream. We had some problems at the end of the stream with the connection and things like that. Yeah, pretty much, Morgan. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Let's try to get up to 10 likes, guys. We need one more like. Let's get it up to 10 likes. Leafs beating anyone in the playoffs, yeah. So they're making fun of the Maple Leafs. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you. So what else do we want to talk about? So there really hasn't been a ton of news, really, like newsworthy stuff here recently. It'll be kind of an interesting thing to look at. Should we do a mock draft? Let's see. Who are some of these guys' mock drafts? Because I think this year's draft is kind of loaded in the first round, but I think some people are saying it might even be a little bit overhyped, which, again, I'm not a robot. I told you I'm not a robot. Damn, man. All right, let's see. Evan always wears his Rangers merch at MSG. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Nope. All right, so we're not doing a mock draft, I guess. Why don't we run Tankathon? That would be kind of fun. Blues Freak said, with that big loss to the Rangers, do you think the Pens miss the playoffs? I don't think it's that detrimental right now. Um, the thing with the Penguins is it's the combination of the goaltending, and now they're having a couple of injuries. Now they have to go on this West Coast trip next week. They play Ottawa tomorrow. That's going to be kind of a tough game. They play Colorado and Dallas the rest of this week. Then they play Washington, and then they go to Detroit next week. So their schedule is not very easy, right? They play Ottawa, who's playing hard. Colorado and Dallas are playoff teams. Washington and Nashville, they're fighting for playoffs. Boston, we know what the Bruins are. That's going to be a tough game. They play the Flyers. The Flyers always play them tough, and they're actually playing better recently. I actually wouldn't want to play the Flyers right now. The Devils, the Wild. So they play the Red Wings in Detroit 2 more times the rest of the way, and then Chicago and Columbus. So their last 3 games of the season should be wins, but it's do they have a chance before that? And that's really the biggest problem here. So we'll find out after that Minnesota game, April 6th. We'll have a pretty good idea with where the Penguins are at. And like I said, they still have to win those last 3 games, but if they can win the games before that, they look in a lot better shape. Welcome to the chat, Bentley. What's going on, man? Do you feel that Vegas could make the final? I think they could. The questioning now I have with the Western Conference is what happens with LA and Vegas? Because I think in the Pacific, those are your 2 top teams. Going to get swept in the first round. Uh-oh. Ali Dash is trying to get himself in trouble. I like that. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think that with what LA did at the deadline, they've definitely created a little bit more of an opportunity to do well. But I like the Golden Knights. If Quick plays the way he has, I just want to see that first round series between Jonathan Quick and the LA Kings. I am so down for that. So we're going to sim the draft lottery. So let me know, guys, what is your prediction? I'll give you a shout out like I usually do, but you'll get an applause if you can get right who wins the draft lottery, who gets the first overall pick. We have Columbus, San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim, Montreal, Philadelphia, Arizona, Vancouver, St. Louis, Detroit, Ottawa, Washington, Buffalo, Calgary, Montreal, and Nashville. So let me know, who do you guys think is going to win this draft lottery simulation? Let me know real quick down below. I'll give you guys a second real quick. I can't believe how many first round picks have been moved. It's kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 draft picks in the first round have been moved. Insane. All right, so we're going to sim the lottery, guys. So what do we have? So Montreal winning the draft lottery, Columbus and San Jose is your top 3. Yo, we got a super chat. Thank you so much, PJ. He says, for $7 Canadian, he says, if Edmonton plays LA in the first round, do you think they could lose to LA? Last season, LA took them to 7 games. Both teams got better, however. I got to be honest with you. I think I'd go with the LA Kings today over the Oilers. The reason for that is the goaltending for the Oilers has not been good. It has not been promising at all. And the LA Kings, I think, could surprise people this year. I'm not saying they win the cup and get to the final, but I think the LA Kings are ready to have a very good season. Surreal, welcome to the chat. Surreal, it would be crazy to see the Ducks win it. And they said something else, but I'm not saying that. But yeah, I have Montreal winning the draft lottery with Columbus and San Jose. That's not fair. That's Connor Bedard, Juraj Slafkovsky, and Nick Suzuki, all three of those guys on the same team. That's kind of terrifying. I'm not going to lie. And Columbus gets bumped out of the top spot. And if you look at the draft, let's take a look at who's going. So right now, according to Tankathon, they have Connor Bedard, Adam Fantilli, Leo Carlson, and Matvei Michev. That's those top four guys. If you draft in the top four, you're winning this season. So whoever, even if Columbus ends up being worst in the NHL standings, they are still going to be in a good spot because worst case scenario, they probably take Matvei Michev, which is a really good pick. Leo Carlson looks like a really good player. He's a winger, center winger from Sweden. So he's kind of come onto the scene out of nowhere. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens with him. But I think he's going to be a good player. The first defenseman off the board here isn't even in the top 10, which is kind of weird. We haven't seen that in a long time. It's Axel Sandin Pellicula from Skelfada of the SHL, and he's supposed to go 13th overall. And Ali Desch says Ottawa's first-round pick sent to Arizona is top 5 protected. Right. But with where it is right now at number 10, that could be Dalibor Dvorsky or Oliver Moore or Ryan Leonard or Brandon Yeager, who are actually pretty good prospects. So if that's the case, I don't know how on board the Senators would be with that. I mean, the thing with Oliver Moore and Leonard, they're committed to Minnesota and Boston College. So I don't know if they're actually going to play in the NHL next year anyway. So that's kind of part of it. Ali Desch said all those guys are worth Chychrun. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Considering the price tags we were hearing for Chychrun, right? Like even here on the channel, we were saying maybe Shane Pinto, which I think Arizona really wanted Shane Pinto. It just wasn't going to happen. Yeah, I think Pierre Dorian did a really good job with those moves. All right, so let's get back to game action. We'll check the draft board at the end of the stream again, but yeah, Chychrun's a now player. We're done developing. Yep. At some point, you got to stop developing. So Minnesota buzzing to start the second period with a 2-0 lead and all the Ozo time that I've seen so far. Mojo playing his old team in Washington. Yeah, PJ, the idea of Connor Bedard and Connor McDavid on the same team, the two Connors on the same team, the world is not great. The world does not deserve that. That would be terrifying. I don't think any team would want to play that team. Good Lord. Imagine the Edmonton Oilers were bad like they've been. At least they're bad and they can't get the first overall pick now, right? At least they're making the playoffs. But good Lord, if they were making the playoffs and not making the playoffs and getting lottery picks for guys like Bedard and Power and all these other guys still. Yep, Ali Dash. Yep, it's 4-0 in the third period in Buffalo. A 4-0 shutout right now for the Sabers. And a 2-0 shutout right now for Marc-Andre Fleury against the Capitals. Which back in the day, I believe Fleury was potentially going to get traded to the Capitals, and he said, no, I will not accept the trade to the Capitals because of his allegiance back in the day to the Penguins, which I thought that was kind of interesting. Ali Jash said, "Don't say the S word when there's still time left on the clock." Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That would be really good though, PJ. Battle of Alberta, Bedard versus McDavid. I don't think we're gonna see it, but that would be kind of sick. I wouldn't lie. Plus, keep Bedard in Canada. Keep him away from the Eastern Conference for my Islanders. Okay. If it's gonna be Flames versus Islanders in the final, I'll take that. But let the Islanders get to the final. We don't need Bedard in the Eastern Conference. And I think Ali Desh would agree with me on that one. So the Capitals playing a little bit better here in the second. They're starting to settle in a little bit, but it's still a 2-0 lead. Ali Dash says it makes me sad that a player like Bedard is going to rot away in a place like Columbus. He might. Chances are, though, Ali Dash, with the way the draft lottery is, chances are Bedard isn't going to go to Columbus. So PJ is saying, I don't know why Goudreau signed with Columbus. He should have picked the Islanders or New Jersey. Apparently, the Islanders never gave him an offer. He really wanted to go to the Flyers. He grew up in southern New Jersey, which is not far from Philadelphia. That's usually, northern New Jersey is the Flyer fans. Eastern PA and southern Jersey, those are the Flyers fans. And he was a Flyer fan growing up, wanted to go there. They never offered him. And I think the Devils, were one of the last bidders for Goudreau, but it just didn't happen. I think the Minnesota Wild are just really a bad matchup for the Capitals. That's kind of what it seems like. They lost their last matchup 4-2 in Washington. I think the Wild are just a bad matchup. Not really any other way to put it here. Oh, that's a tough penalty, man. I don't like that call. Yeah, I don't like that one. That was a bad call. So the Capitals will go to the power play when they come back. So we're gonna keep an eye on this game up in Buffalo because it has been ugly. It's still 4-0. I can't watch the Bruins guy. I can't. I can't watch Jack Edwards. Nope. Oh, really good chance by Charlie Coyle. No good though. I can't believe AJ Greer. That's awesome that he's carving out a career in Boston. He kind of replaced Craig Smith. Good fit there. All right. So, real, what's going on? The Central seems wide open for the taking. Who do you see finishing first? I got to be honest. Whenever someone brings up the Central, it's so hard for me to not say the Colorado Avalanche. I think they're going to find that mojo and that groove, getting ready for the playoffs. I think Colorado will end up winning that division. Unless Ottinger finds his game here the last dozen or so games and really gets going, I think it's Colorado's division to end up losing. I think it's theirs. But great question, though. Thank you for the question. I mean, again, they just won the Stanley Cup. It's tough not to go with the Avs. Uh-oh, Thompson and Hathaway going at it. All right, all right. So a penalty for Tage Thompson. Yeah, Buffalo's rotting away in this one. And the thing is with the Sabres, it's not like they've been just losing, like they're getting I almost said something I shouldn't have. They are getting beat up. I'll leave it at that. The Capitals scored, so they all right, so we got a 1-goal game in Minnesota. All right. I'd like to see who scored the goal though. Ovechkin on the power play. That's his 38th goal of the season. Man, Ovechkin. The old man keeps going. Yep. Ovi scores from the office. Yep. All right. So looking at the draft again, it's kind of interesting because I look at some of these names. I've not seen any of these guys. Um Oliver Bonk, I've heard that name before. It's kind of a weird name. That's probably partially why. A lot of BC kids in the first round. A lot of just Big Ten. Wisconsin, Michigan State, Notre Dame kids. Emil Yarventi, I assume that's Robbie Yarventi's brother or sibling. There's a goalie in the first round. That should be kind of interesting to watch for. Trey Augustine, potential goalie. That could be kind of nice to see. Another goalie in the first round. R2 Karki. They got some weird names here, man. Haminaho. I don't. There's no way that's that. There's no way Lenny Haminaho. We got some weird names, guys. Maxim Sturbic. I've heard that name before. Yo, PJ's trying to get in my head. Yo, Kev, something on your shelf is about to fall. Uh-huh. I'm sure. So the Bruins scored on the power play, so it's 5-0 Bruins on the Tage Thompson penalty. And this is as much of an S kicking as you could have asked for. Man. Oh man. Yep. Sapasta scores again. 5-0 Bruins. Avs versus Bruins final. Who you got? Ooh. Huh. Avalanche versus Bruins final. That's a hard one. If I had to say right this second, yeah, I like the Avs. I think I'd go with the Bruins, though. I think Bruins in 7. That would be a great series, though. If we're talking about like getting a West Stanley Cup final, I'd be down with that. Just think about all that firepower, right? You have McAvoy versus Cale Makar, Bergeron versus McKinnon, um, Pasternak versus Rantanen. I mean, so it's 6-0. Is that Coyle? I think that's a goal from Charlie Coyle. So it's 6-0 Boston. And the place erupted. I actually thought Buffalo scored, but then I remembered, oh yeah, the Bruins took over the arena. Great play by McAvoy. We were just talking about him. Yeah, Charlie Coyle just sitting in the slot, like sitting there just waiting for the puck. Everybody's puck watching. That's Owen Power. Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin out there. Ali Dash said, I get you're trying to run a clean channel, but come on. Yeah, I know, Ali Dash. I know. Well, the new YouTube rules make it like really difficult. Like if you swear at all, um, you could get demonetized, which obviously is not a great thing. Yeah, you guys are hysterical. Those fudge Oreos, though, PJ, for real, fudge Oreos are freaking so good. It is. No, they don't take away your super chats, Ali Dash. They take away like your monetization for like YouTube ads and stuff like that. They take away your ad sponsorships. Ooh. Yeah, the Bruins just this is insane. The Bruins are just kicking their ass. Man. Did they finally get the game here on NHL 66? No. I don't think so. No. Never mind. All right. Great question from PJ. Kev, aside from super chats, how does a YouTuber make money on YouTube? What is the view to money ratio like? It is disgusting, PJ. It is peanuts. Let me see. Just to put it in perspective, I had a Bruins video that was one of my most viral videos, and I think I made $5 off that one video. So, listen, you can't really be in this thing for the money, unfortunately. Yeah, let me take a look, and I'll give you an idea. Um, yeah, really, most of the money comes from you guys. Yeah, it's really super chat money because let me see if I can find it. So my best regular video was so I got $5 for 1.6 thousand views for a Red Wings video I posted, and in the first 21 days I made $5. So just in perspective for videos wise, um, it's tough. It's a real grind. It's like peanuts for each YouTube ad, but and pumps out mad content. Yes, sir, Ali Dash. Yup. It is what it is, though. If I can make anything more, great. We'll see how it goes, but I like doing this on the side. I don't really look at it as a career because the second you look at it too much as a career, you can't really enjoy it as much. But so Minnesota with another goal. It's 3-1. So the Caps made it a 1-goal game, and then the Wild said, yeah, no. So it's 3-1 again. Boldy with 2, Ovechkin, and Ryan Reeves Revo with a goal. I think Charlie Lindgren's kind of not helping them out today. Honestly, I think the Caps. Oh, yeah, it means a lot to me, guys. Thank you for the support. I had people tell me you're never going to make money on YouTube. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do that. And you got to prove people wrong. So it's really been nice. I mean, I've had a couple of streams. We've made almost $100 on a live stream. That that means the world to me. You have no idea how much that means to me. It means a lot. Thank you so much for the support as always, guys. Got to keep proving them wrong, right? I don't know who is that? Joe Eriksson just got dumped. I don't know who's that guy in front. I think it's Sandine. The Wild are dominating right. The Capitals look tired. They look lost, and they're about to go shorthanded. Wow. Yep, PJ said when people hate on others, it's their insecurities. Hate is like fuel. It adds to the fire, makes someone more motivated. PJ, I could not have said that better myself. Yo, we got a super chat from our boy Ali Dash, $2.79 Canadian. Keep grinding, bro. You're gonna blow up real soon. Thank you, Ali Dash. As always, you're the best. Thank you so much, Ali Dash. Yeah, no, seriously, thank you, Ali Dash. Like I said, I mean it too. I mean it. You guys help support the channel so much. You guys keep me motivated and keep it going. Um, it's awesome. Thank you so much. There we go. Let's go, boys. Yo, we got a super chat from PJ, $2.79 Canadian. He says, "Party at Kev's house when he hits a milli subs." That sounds pretty good to me. Oh my God, it is 7-0 Boston. Holy shit. Wow. They are getting destroyed. And the crowd is going wild in Buffalo for the Bruins fans. Oh, man. There you go. We talked about McAvoy earlier. Yeah, he just freaking cakewalked the whole defense. Cakewalked them. And guys, don't let Ange know. Don't let her know. Shh, we're getting Cheesecake Factory later. So I'm getting cheesecake when she gets home from work. So you guys are helping support that fund. So thank you so much as always. Hopefully she's not watching yet. PJ. Yeah, McAvoy is very underrated. I think he's gonna again. I think the Bruins are gonna go on a run this year, and he's gonna have the Cale Makar treatment. Everybody's gonna be talking about him this summer because that's just how this works. I could see teams getting a little bit more, a little bigger, a little bit more like the Bruins. Right? This happened back in 2011 when the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. See, what I think is so interesting is everybody talks about the Flyers, right? They need to get more skilled and more fast and this and that. Fine. The Bruins have been able to modernize the big bad Bruins. So they're still the big bad Bruins, right? Trent Frederick, Marchand. They added to that with Bertuzzi and Hathaway, but they're still the Boston Bruins, but they're able to adapt to today's game. I think that is what makes Don Sweeney and this really Cam Neely to an extent. Um, that is the difference between how things have kind of transpired in Boston and how things have transpired in Philly over the last 2 decades. How they've kind of lack of modernization to the game or the really adapting to the game from the Bruins side of things. It's really impressive. It makes it all that much more commendable. Like, wow, they really found a way to keep that Bruins squad, right? PJ said, when I went to Vegas cheesecake, it was so good. Yeah. Peanut butter, I think it's the Reese's peanut butter cheesecake. Chef's kiss, guys. It is so, so good. Ali Dash said, are they just like Denny's or are they actually good? So it's a fancy inside looking place. The lights are really dim. It's probably good for a date night, like a cheaper date night. It's like $100. It is a little expensive, I guess. But Denny's is a little more like IHOP. I'm trying to think of a comparable. There really isn't a comparable for Cheesecake Factory. Now that I think about it, Ali Dash, you got to come down to the States and see it yourself. That's the best way I can put it. Peach said, Kev, do you think a hardworking blue-collar team like the Flames or Islanders could surprise a lot of people in the playoffs? If everything clicks, yeah, absolutely, PJ. Yep, I totally think so. How far will it go? I don't know. But if they can get into the playoffs, I think the Flames and the Islanders are really concerning. And I don't think the Bruins want to play them. I got to be honest. And the Bruins fans are cheering. Wow. An embarrassing loss for the Sabres at home again. Jeremy Swayman with the shutout, fourth shutout of his career, ninth career shutout, and consecutive shutouts for Jeremy Swayman. Ouch. Ouch. Tough, tough loss for the Sabres. Ouch, baby. Ouch. That's the best way I could put it. All right, so let's get back to the Wild. Let's see what's going on up there in St. Paul, Minnesota. It sounds like Ottawa. Yikes. Listen, it's one thing when you lose badly, you just don't want to stink at home. They have been stinking it up at home. You can't do that. You cannot do that, especially at this time of year. I know Sabres fans have had a lot to cheer about, but the last couple weeks, it's been tough. Matt Boldy's going to get a hat trick. I'm calling it right now. Boldy looks really good tonight. He wants that hattie. You could tell. They're setting him up, too. Matt Boldy hat trick. I'm calling it, guys. Keep an eye out on Boldy here. So okay, so they were able to kill the first penalty. 5-on-4. Lindgren bailed them out. Whew, that was close. Oh, you guys don't like the Leafs? I've never been to a Leafs game. Never been to a Leafs game, so I have no opinion on that. At some point, I have to, but have not been to a Leafs Islanders game, which that would have been great with Tavares. Wasn't able to go to it. Surreal said 10 years since last President's winner to hoist the cup if the Bruins can pull it off. Definitely something to consider there, Surreal. And I think some of that is also the parity of the NHL. And I think that's really what it's about. Like even Anson Carter, depending on what you guys think of Anson Carter, he said he thinks the Islanders could beat the Bruins in the playoffs. Keith Yandel said he thinks it's the Lightning that are the only team to beat the Bruins. But shout out to Anson Carter. He gave the Islanders some love there. So take with that with whatever. But there is some love for the Islanders there in that NHL broadcast. Whether most of them are falling asleep on the Islanders or not, that's still to be in the air. But listen, if the Islanders go to the Cup final, they could snore all they want. They could sleep their way to next season because the Islanders are in the Cup final. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. What happened? Wild bench miner. Wow. What the heck? It's Tom Wilson. Get it? So this is where Washington takes their games back. My uncle went once a few years ago, said never again. Wow. Yeah, it is always Wilson, right, Ali Dash? This is what happened a couple weeks ago at that Islanders game. I remember the Islanders versus Capitals game. The Islanders were up 3-0. 3-1 back in December. And the Islanders ended up losing that game because the Capitals started getting a little aggressive and doing this stuff, started pulling this shit, and they ended up winning the game. So I'm very interested to see how this kind of goes and works itself out. Peacher said, I think the Oilers and the Leafs fans are the worst. Like I said, haven't seen the Oilers yet either. I want to see McDavid in person playing. Habs fans have entered the chat. Yeah, I'm sure they agree with both of those, right? Both the Oilers and the Leafs, yeah. But I'm sure Habs fans aren't much better, right? So let's see if Washington can make this a game here. So I saw something this morning. I don't know how legit. See, speaking of the Leafs, there's a guy with an Austin Matthews jersey in Minnesota for a Capitals Wild game. Tell me why there's a guy with a Matthews jersey on. Like, that makes no sense. You want to talk about hating Leaf fans? It's guys like that. Like, what are you doing, bro? Seriously? Why are you wearing a Matthews jersey to a Wild Capitals game? You can't make this stuff up. Nah, PJ. I'm being good. I'm being good, PJ. I'm actually being really good. I'm only drinking my protein shake today until I have cheesecake later. That's like my prize, right? My all eyes are on the prize for that cheesecake later. So I'm eating. I had a half a Chipotle bowl this morning, and I'm still finishing my first protein shake, and that's it for the rest of the day. And I've been working out this morning, so I've been hungry all day. I've been grinding it out. I'm trying to keep my six pack. PJ's on a calorie deficit. Good for you, man. Yep. PJ said I saw a guy with a Rangers jersey at a Battle of Alberta game. Yep, that sounds about right. Let me guess, was it Messier or Gretzky or just some random guy from the 90s? I would not be surprised in the slightest, but watch, I probably did get that right. We'll see. Oh, some old man. Okay. All right. Somehow that's a little bit better, but nonetheless, it's still weird. That's funny. I love that old style Minnesota Wild jersey. I got to get me one of those. That is a nice jersey, man. Oh, they got to go back to that with the little bit of gold accent on the jersey. Mm. PJ said, Kev, do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation? I have an Xbox One. Yeah, I'm not a huge console guy. I don't really play a lot of video games. I play when I can, but so Ali Desh, I do like the Wild and I like their colors. That logo is incredible. But if you look at their expansion, yo, PJ, yo, chill, PJ. You're gonna freak out Morgan. Yo, I swear to God, PJ, you're the man, but you're gonna give Morgan a heart attack. Um, Ali Dutch, if you look at the Minnesota Wild's expansion jersey, it was really nice. It has the wild patch. It's got that gold color scheme. I love that, man. It's really nice. So the Capitals, with 3 minutes left here in the second, they're down by two, 3-1 lead for the Wild. But they're on the power play. So let's see if Ovi's got another one in him. Yeah, Morgan, no, Eichel's not hurt. PJ's just messing with you. Surreal said my floor hockey team had those old wild colors both home and away. Oh, I'm so jealous, Surreal. Yeah, that's a really nice look. Oh. Hey, Kev, what's your opinion on a mullet? I actually have a mullet, Morgan. Yup. I love it. I think you should definitely get a mullet. I have the shaved sides, long on the back. It looks really good, especially when you gel it back. When I slick it back and gel it, oof, really good look. Yeah, the Capitals need a goal here before the end of the period. Yeah, the Caps are pushing right now. Let's see. End of the power play, but the Caps are buzzing right now. Oh, Alexei Protas is playing. Protas is a big guy. I saw him in person the other day. He didn't play for the Caps against the Islanders, but Alexei Protas, he's a big dude. Yeah, he's a big boy. The next he's gonna be that next Mantha Wilson guy in Washington. He's a big, big dude. Kev, yes, I do, PJ. Yes, I do. You guys are hysterical. The McNugget minute? Really? Kev, do the Flames make the playoffs or not, in your opinion? They've been playing better recently. The math isn't good for the Flames, but the way the Jets and the Kraken have been playing, I think they get in. I think the Flames make the playoffs. It sounds crazy, but I'm going to go with them making the playoffs. I think one of the Kraken or the Jets falls out. I think the floor is going to fall out for one of them. It sounds crazy, but maybe I am. Maybe I am Ali Dash. Maybe I am crazy, but we got to fight. What the heck happened? Oh, who is that? Mason Shaw and who? Matt Irwin and Mason Shaw. Mason Shaw just dropped Matt Irwin. Wow. It's pretty good. All right, guys. I'm going to need to get you guys' last thoughts, unfortunately. I only have 9% battery left on the computer, so let me know your guys' thoughts here before we close out today. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, don't leave yet. Leave some of your last questions before I head out, and that'll be it. What's on your guys' mind? Final thoughts. Leafs suck. Okay, Ali Dash. PJ said, Kev, hot take, but I think Clayton Keller would thrive under a Daryl Sutter system. I don't know about that, PJ. I would love to see Keller play well on a good team, but I do not think that team is under Daryl Sutter. That's like, what's a good example of that? That's like any goal scorer going to the Islanders. It's not going to go well. Their goals automatically go down. I think it's similar with the Flames. Unfortunately, but I think that's what it is. But to each their own. All I have to say is God bless the troops and bless America and go Knights go. Shout out to Morgan. I love that. PJ, I'm not talking about the flame smoke in the Knights. Nope. Nope. Like I said, anything else you guys want to throw in the chat? Make sure to like the video as well, guys. Morgan going full America. Yes, sir, Ali Dash. That's a proud American boy right there, Morgan. Shout out to our guy. Surreal said, what's your take on the Devils' bad week versus Tampa this past week? Hopefully we Devils get some revenge tonight. Yeah, I think they do. That was a really good game. What was that, Friday? With Timo Meyer's 2 goals. They scored with an empty netter and a power play. They ended up losing in a shootout. Ross Colton, of course, the New Jersey native. I think it's just a bad matchup for the Devils. I don't think it's indicative of them being a bad team, but I think it's just a bad matchup. That's like the Islanders and the Penguins. You see how I threw that one in? They just can't beat the Lightning. As long as they don't play them in the conference final, I think the Devils will be okay. But other than that, it's tough. Yeah, it was Thursday night. Okay. Peaches said if the Islanders play Hurricanes in the playoffs, I think they beat them in 7 and pull the upset. The only problem is, though, PJ, I've heard people saying that the Islanders aren't a good matchup for Carolina. Every game I've been to the last 2 or 3 years that the Hurricanes have come to Long Island, they kick the Islanders' butts. The Islanders can't score. The Hurricanes scored 1, 2, or 3 early goals, and that's it. And they just kind of sit on their egg the rest of the game, and that's it. And it's kind of the Islanders' system, but the Hurricanes they just do it better under Rod Brind'Amour. But like I said, tonight, Columbus and Vegas at 4 p.m. Eastern. Winnipeg, St. Louis, and St. Louis. That's a big game in the Central for the Jets. Nashville at the Garden to take on the Rangers. New Jersey and Tampa finish out their series together. Their third game in the past week down in Tampa, not in Newark, down in Tampa. And then at 8 o'clock, that's the late night game. The Vancouver Canucks head to the Honda Center to take on the Anaheim Ducks. And of course, to recap, the Bruins with a touchdown win over the Buffalo Sabers in Buffalo. It sounded like a Bruins home game minus the goal horn. It was a 7-0 defeat for the Bruins. His second consecutive shutout for Jeremy Swayman, his ninth shutout of his career, his fourth of the season. The Bruins win that one. I also think Vegas easily takes the Eastern Conference. Yeah, exactly. Vegas winning the East easy. Okay. What's going on, Go Cats? Go from Louie. Of course, he has to jump into the chat. His team is off today. No Florida Panthers hockey tonight, but they head to Detroit tomorrow night. Yep, Louis coming in before the final buzzer. Thank you guys so much as always. Louis says, big win for the Panthers yesterday. Stanley Cup, here we come. And if they smell that little sense of blood from the Pittsburgh Penguins, if the Penguins lose to Ottawa, then they play Dallas and Colorado this week on the road. Pittsburgh could be having some issues. They got teams biting at their feet here. A team like the Florida Panthers is definitely right there. So we'll see what happens. So, guys, that's it for today. Guys, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Guys, I don't know exactly when I'm live streaming this week. We'll see how things go. But like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching the stream. Hopefully, if you're joining late, you replay and see what else we've talked about here today. If we recap the games from yesterday, some of the games today. Guys, like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Peace out.